Man, if that last video regarding the migrants and police brutality wasn't enough for you to want migrants to be removed from this country, this will do it. It's unfortunate for us at WHAAT TV to have to report on this story, but we've read enough news articles dating back from 2019 to 2020 up until current date of too many children missing, being abused, and being killed. Today we're going to look at two particular stories that recently happened surrounding the Arizona and Colorado neighborhood. We're going to first jump into a story surrounding a couple who tried to throw the police off, man. I mean, they were caught killing their own children. Yes, their own children. Please, stick around. You're going to want to see who we reveal is migrants' biggest threat. We've been hinting at this for a while, and we're going to run it and release that information today. Who we think migrants' biggest threat is. And it's not Donald Trump. Things that make you go, what, people?
Another true crime Arizona story. Just into our newsroom tonight, we're learning two people are facing charges in connection to the deaths of two young kids whose remains were hidden in a metal container and a suitcase. The gruesome discovery was made in Colorado, but the kids were originally thought to be here in Arizona. 35-year-old Jesus Dominguez Jr. and 36-year-old Corena Rose Minjarez are facing charges of murder and abuse of a corpse.
Brianna has been following this story as well. Brianna, what have you uncovered here?
Oh, we just reported on this 2 weeks ago, and I feel like this is the worst possible outcome we could learn for these two kids. We have a lot more now. Police originally thought those kids were alive here in Phoenix. We now know they're both dead, one found in a metal container, the other in a suitcase. One of the suspects is also still on the run. It was 2 weeks ago we reported that little Jesus and Yesenia Dominguez had been missing since the summer of 2018. Pueblo, Colorado police discovered this as part of their investigation into a child's remains found in a metal container in a storage unit. Well, their police sergeant says at the time they didn't know whose remains those were, and during the investigation, they learned the two missing kids may be here in the Phoenix area. So detectives were working with law enforcement here in Arizona to try and find them. We now know that was a lie, allegedly concocted by Corena Minjarez and Jesus Dominguez. You see them here on your screen. They're charged in their death.
Wow. So here you see a couple. They're being charged and being sought. They found the bodies of a young girl in a container filled with concrete. Her body was found within concrete in a container. We don't know if she was like buried alive in the concrete. But we're talking about his own children. This is his daughter that he did this to. Illegal migrant. What about your children?
Pueblo police say they were both interviewed as persons of interest in the case and mentioned that Yesenia and Jesus could possibly be in Phoenix. Detectives later learned that was not ever the case. Eventually, Yesenia was identified as the remains in the metal container. And after a search warrant of Corena Minjarez's car, they found remains in a suitcase in the trunk, later identified to be those of Jesus Jr. Minjarez and Dominguez were both charged for 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of abuse of a corpse. But as of now, only Minjarez has been arrested with a $2 million bond. Police say right now, Jesus Dominguez's whereabouts are unknown.
What? We need ICE, people. We need ICE. I don't know about you, but right about now, I need a little ice baby. Trust me. Because If we have migrants and different people committing crimes and they're fleeing from different state, Arizona, Colorado, different parts of the country, we don't have much documents on them, too much paperwork, no fingerprints, no real history, school, driver license. I mean, there's little to no information almost. So you could just switch up your identity and become someone else. And you know who's great in collecting data and information and tracking people down from state to state? You guessed it, ICE.
Guys.
Do we know anything about?
We're gonna have to jump into another video because let me know your thoughts. Do you think we need to ramp up ICE? Because if we have criminals that's fleeing, killing their own children, I mean, what is to come? What is to come, people? I mean, we really do need ICE. Because there's many other stories similar to this of children being raped, children going missing down in the Arizona region. And you could point directly to migrants, and it's sad. We need somebody in power, and we're going to reveal him very soon. Let's run this video. Tell me your thoughts.
A Glendale man and his girlfriend have been arrested on murder charges in the death of her one-year-old son. Officers took Francisco Higuera and Maria Machado Perez into custody on Friday. They say that she ran into a CVS pharmacy with her son on Thursday and asked for help because he wasn't breathing. Paramedics took the child to Banner Thunderbird Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Police say that the baby had injuries including broken bones and bruising. Higuera is accused of
What?
hitting the baby with a belt and throwing him in a crib.
Wow. What? We're talking about a one-year-old child, to be clear here. This is another story. This is not this man's child. This is why it's important to look at this story. It's not his child. This couple, this migrant couple, they have a child together, which is a 6-month-old baby. The woman's child, which is her son, which is a 1-year-old, is the one who gets abused, not their child. This guy just openly abuses this young lady's child and resulting to his death. I mean, there are many other stories surrounding the Arizona area. We need help. We definitely need help. ICE, ICE, baby.
Man and his girlfriend have been arrested on murder charges in the death of her one-year-old son. Officers took Francisco Higuera and Maria Machado Perez into custody on Friday. They say that she ran into a CVS pharmacy with her son on Thursday and asked for help because he wasn't breathing. Paramedics took the child to Banner Thunderbird Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Police say that the baby had injuries including broken bones and bruising. Higuera is accused of hitting the baby with a belt and throwing him in a crib. Officers say that the couple lied about what happened and say Machado Perez did nothing to prevent her son from being abused or try to get him some help.
And neither of you may have any contact whatsoever with anyone under the age of 18, including your own children. Anything further on behalf of the state?
¿Algo más de parte de la Fiscalía?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Things that make you go, what? Things that make you go, what, man? Tell me your thoughts. People of Arizona, let me know how you feel. People of Colorado, let me know how you feel. A lot of kids are going missing in these areas. Let me know how you feel. Let me know your thoughts. Because Arizona, if you have a problem, let WHAAT TV know the problem. Because you know why? You know why? We're going to call on one man. One man. Not Vivek Ramaswamy. Not Donald Trump. When WHAAT TV goes to the election year this year, we're pushing and we're promoting one man and one man only who happens to be on the Trump team. Let's get into it. Listen, man. Migrants. Your biggest threat is a man named Tom Homan. WHAAT TV?
I think he said in his opening statement they are rebuilding the system. They're pulling it back from the brink. Do you agree with that assessment that Mr. Beer has of the Biden administration?
Absolutely not. They tore down the system.
You know who else disagrees with him? Democrat mayors. Democrat mayors in sanctuary cities. It's amazing to me that these sanctuary cities are sanctuary cities until it's actually time to provide sanctuary. But they disagree with him as well. So you said earlier, both you and Mr. Edlow, you said this is by design. This is intentional. I mean, and you basically, I think if I got it right, you said three main things. Stop building the wall, get rid of Remain in Mexico, and release people when they get here. And that incentivizes people to come from, I think you said, 181 countries come to the border. Because they know there's no wall to get over, there's no wait in Mexico, and they're going to get released to wherever they want to go. Is that
Absolutely.
right?
The first few days in office, President Biden signed over 90 executive orders abolishing all the policies that were proven effective based on numbers. Anybody can go to cbp.gov and look at the numbers. But I want to address one thing real quick.
Sure.
I'm sick and tired of people in Congress talking about xenophobic and racist policy of the Trump administration. We enforce the law. If I'm a racist, what's that make Congress? They wrote the law. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws that enacted by Congress. Second of all, about the family separation thing, because talking about tearing babies out of mothers' arms. I'm the only one in this room who's been on that border. I'm the only one that's interviewed girls as young as 9 years old, been raped multiple times. You look in their eyes and they're dead. Their souls are gone. They have every ounce of what they think is humanity. It's gone because they were raped numerous times by criminal cartel members. I stood in the back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead migrants at my feet, including a 5-year-old little boy. I've seen many dead bodies on the border. I've been down there numerous times this past year where Border Patrol are giving CPR to an infant child 6 months old. I've seen Border Patrol agents, heroes, patriots, who jump in the river with 60 pounds of gear on, putting their lives on the line to save lives. What the whole thing about zero tolerance was to save lives.
What? Things that make you go, what, man? People had some criticism regarding Mr. Homan's previous policies and handling of migrants during the last Trump administration. But man, I've been following this guy for a couple years, and I haven't seen someone as passionate, dedicated to the mission such as Tom Homan. I mean, I'm pushing this guy. I feel like he is migrants' biggest threat. Not Vivek Ramaswamy with his crazy ideas. Not Donald Trump. The man to get the job done is right on your screen. Tom Homan.
Sick and tired of people in Congress talking about xenophobic and racist policy of the Trump administration. We enforce the law. If I'm a racist, what's that make Congress? They wrote the law. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws that enacted by Congress. Second of all, about the family separation thing, because talking about tearing babies out of mothers' arms. I'm the only one in this room who's been on that border. I'm the only one that's interviewed girls as young as 9 years old, been raped multiple times. You look in their eyes and they're dead. Their souls are gone. They have every ounce of what they think is humanity is gone because they were raped numerous times by criminal cartel members. I stood in the back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead migrants at my feet, including a 5-year-old little boy. I've seen many dead bodies on the border. I've been down there numerous times this past year where Border Patrol are giving CPR to an infant child 6 months old. I've seen Border Patrol agents, heroes, patriots, who jump in the river with 60 pounds of gear on, putting their lives on the line to save lives. What the whole thing about zero tolerance was to save lives. Maybe.
Listen. Migrants, the man in front of you is your biggest threat. You better get the word out from now. Tom Homan is your biggest threat. And we like him. Listen, tap in, tap in, tap in. Let me know your thoughts.